I've been so busy lately. I've been out all day walking on my farm. Yes, I have a farm. I also have a cabin in the woods with some land. I've got more than a lifetime supply of wood. After the last ice storm, the wood kind of fell itself. So all I have to do is just cut it up into pieces and season it a little bit. As I say, season the wood. You don't want to burn green wood in your wood-burning stove, which causes creosote buildup. By the way, there's no greater pleasures than a real wood stove, as opposed to this digital piece of garbage sitting here next to me. I'm wickedly serious about this. I've basically known this my entire life. And I don't have any money. I'm not a land baron at all. But after wisdom, I mean this with all seriousness in the world, that the most important thing in the world to have, other than your health, obviously, is land. I mean, it really is. And what's going on in the world stresses that even more. And that doesn't mean you're a prepper or you're preparing for doomsday. Some people are doing that, and they buy land for that reason. I don't know where it is and where you're at in the world or what state you're in. I know where really good land is for $500 an acre. A lot of that is kind of hilly, to put it mildly. It's something you could plop a cabin down on and that would feed you and has all the free energy in the world vis-a-vis wood on it that you would ever want for the rest of your life. And I know where just absolutely awesome land is for $2,000 to $2,500 an acre in Kentucky. And I'll tell you emphatically, and I'd like to go over a list of the reasons why to have land, and of course it's further than this list, but everybody should be saving for retirement, and I don't give anybody financial advice, obviously so, because I'm not rich. I'm not, have an investment portfolio, but I am really sharp and extremely intelligent. Even the people that hate me admit that. And I can honestly say, other than wisdom, there's nothing more important in this life to have other than land. There just absolutely frigging is not. To be fair, and of course it depends on the type of land it is, but like Kentucky and the south area here, even up in the north, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, I couldn't imagine living somewhere that cold. It's just unimaginable to me, but I know people do it. Depends on the type of land that it is, but to me, a minimum of 10 acres that's remote is necessary. That's so you actually have room to hunt for food and such that you actually have an inexhaustible supply of fuel for firewood, which of course is more than just warmth in the wintertime. It cooks your food. It does 1,000 things. If at all possible, and looking for the land, if you can't drill a well. And people forget, unless you're living in a dirty area where the streams are full of trash, which remote places generally are not like that, not that they don't exist and not that I haven't seen them. All you need is a good water purification system. I mean, my farm has a beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous creek flowing around a lot of it, and there's just, there's fish and there's all the water anybody could ever want. You have the wood for firewood I've talked about. It should be remote. It also should be not so remote that you can't access it rather easily, because you want to go out there and build things and do things and fix things. And if it's so remote that you have to be Tarzan to get to your land, that's a problem. If it's landlocked, that's a serious problem. It's like, yeah, I've got a lot of great land. If it's landlocked, you can't get to it. You got to park a half a mile away and walk to it. Some people that doesn't bother. Most states have right-of-way for access, such that you need to have access to your own land if it's landlocked. And I know people say, well, you never really own land because you have to pay property taxes. That's partially true, but it is still your damn land. My farm's property taxes are only like $240 a year, and my other land is like $180 a year. So who cares? You know, I mean, that's just cheap thrills. It really is. So people say, well, it's never really yours. You paid for it, and you still got to pay property tax. You know, that's partially true, but it's still your damn land. You can pass it on to your heirs and so on and so forth. You know, you got farming you could do on it, agriculture. I'm actually planning on planting watermelons and tomatoes, some low maintenance crops on my farm this year. I'm going to get a tiller, a small tiller. I don't need much, you know, it's just for one person. And maybe my folks, you know, I'm just going to get a tiller. I'm going to till, because my farmland is actually extremely fertile, so. It's also the best place in the world to bug out. Free camping for the rest of your life, as long as you keep paying the property taxes, obviously so. Lifetime supply of free fuel and firewood. In a world gone crazy, and I've thought this my entire life, you know, other than wisdom, there is nothing more important to have than land. There just is not. I don't care. You can argue with me all you want. You're still wrong. You're arrogant. Yeah, but I'm also right. You got free food, unless it's someplace that's like, you know, Bumscuttle, Nevada, you know, and there's like one tree every 100 miles. You know, there's no food to be had anywhere. There are places like that you could, but I could buy land at $200 an acre. Yeah, but they won't tell you it's like in the middle of, you know, some hellhole in Death Valley, or, you know, just some awful, awful place. Or it's like totally vertical. Even Tarzan would reject it, you know, because you can't make your way in there. Best investment in the world. My relatives made fun of me for buying my house in Florida after my wife died. My house in Florida is worth a lot more than I paid for it. The land that I gave and sold actually to my dad is worth a lot more than I paid for it. I sold it to him like 15 years or so ago. I only paid $2,000 for that land. It's worth a lot more than that now. I think it's worth like 20 or 30 times that now. I haven't checked, but yeah, I spent all day today walking on my farm. I did the same thing a couple days ago. I was making plans, walking through the creek. My creek has a little beach, has little areas of beach sandbars. Not sand, it's pebbles mostly. And it's absolutely gorgeous. Also, too, something else that comes with a lot of land in the South and Pennsylvania and other places, especially here in the South, is that a barn. I have a really, really nice barn. It would not take an enormous amount of money to retrofit and spray with insulation and turn it into a living place in a bug-out type of situation. It would not. You put a wood-burning stove in there, yeah, cut a hole in the roof, got all the free firewood in the world to warm the place. Some rolls of insulation, you know, a good wood-burning stove, $1,000. You can get them cheaper than that. $400 of insulation. I mean, a roll-out foam bed. It doesn't take that much to be quite comfortable. And you know, in a situation where, because a lot of people live in the city and and I don't know how you live. I mean, this house I'm in, I paid $64,000 for. It's paid for, bought it ages ago with my wife. A lot of you, and to me this boggles my frigging brain, you have a house that costs $150,000, $200,000, $300,000. You're never going to pay it off. If the poop hits the fan, what would it take for you, and once again I'm not giving investment advice, to take $50,000, $60,000 of your own money out of savings and buy yourself 20, 30 acres of land? You never know what's going to come around the pike. in life. Of course, life is unpredictable, even for people that think their life is stable. To me, it's unfathomable to be living somewhere that if like the poop hit the fan, you're just totally foobarred. But land's like, well, the land, there's no place to stay there. You could plop an RV. You go on Craigslist, even though Craigslist is pure evil, and buy yourself, a used RV for a good one too, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $10,000. Plop it on your land. It's your land. Got a roof over your head. If you got water, all you need is water filtration. A wood-burning stove. You got all the heat in the world. I can literally say I have multiple lifetimes worth of inexhaustible woods on my lands. I mean, just inexhaustible. Well, nothing's totally inexhaustible, but if I were living there full time, I'd be cutting firewood until my guts fell out of my backside. I still have an inexhaustible amount of firewood. I'm sorry, I just think that's the dumbest thing in the world for someone to, they'll have a $300,000 and $200,000 house that's never going to be paid for, essentially. Like every time they get $5 together, meaning like 30, 40, 50,000 bucks, they've been saving money. Like, oh, I need a new car. I've never owned a new car. Land, it's the one thing they're not making any more of. Instead of buying that new Mercedes or whatever, why don't you buy 20, 30 acres of good land? Make it pay for itself too, and that doesn't mean renters or whatever. I've got ideas. I'm not going to talk about them in this video. And I'm not talking about anything illicit, okay? To me, this is an important video. I made this video, even though this is not the normal videos that I make, because I spent my entire life with this belief, and it's more and more confirmed every day. And for the past couple of years, it is really confirmed. Imagine a couple that, like, during all the BS and hysteria going on in the world the past 2 years, like, they live in some dumpy condo downtown of some dumb, big, stinking city, just full of a bunch of mental midgets running around. And, what's going on? Put them out of business. You can't work, you can't open your store. It's like, okay, now they can't pay the rent. But what if, during a good time, 4 or 5 years ago, they bought themselves 20 acres of nice land? That means the only thing they'd have to do is scrape together like 10 grand or less for a trailer. Like an Airstream. Airstreams are gorgeous. Sticking a wood-burning stove in there. Not that that would look good in an Airstream. I've seen it done before. Only thing people need really is an electrical line and a window unit, air conditioning unit, and a wood-burning stove for the wintertime. You buy propane canisters at Lowe's and Home Depot to run your stove, possibly even heat your house, so that's kind of expensive. The wood-burning stove is a way better idea. There is nothing finer on this earth, like I said, outside of wisdom, other than land. And I think if anybody doesn't consider that, I think they're a fool. Actually, I don't think they're a fool. I know they're a fool. Some places in some countries, people are telling me what it costs for land. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. Dear God. They're like countries where not that many people live. I mean, they're just like more sheep than humans, right? It's like, how the hell could land cost that much there? What the hell is that? I don't want to know the answer to that, but I know land prices in the United States, and I especially know what they are in Kentucky. You can get incredible land for $200 to $2,500 an acre. Incredible! Like running water, flat, gorgeous, just incredible. Remote, yet easy access. It's got everything going for it. Or you could buy hilly land for $500, $600 an acre. And, there'll be flat spots. It's like, well, that's the flat spot. I'm going to bulldoze a path and put my house or my trailer there. The rest of it I could slope out and garden it and whatever. So it doesn't matter if a lot of it's hilly. You own 10 to 20, 30 acres. the hilly land's got flat spots on it, way more than big enough to put a trailer or a house on. So maybe consider doing that. Even though I don't really have any money, that's what I've done with my money. It damn well is. I never thought I'd own a barn in life, and now I own 2 barns. I've got 2 barns. I've got 2 barns now. One barn is really, really nice. Nice. Anyway, consider that. To me, this is an important video, even though it's not videos that I normally do. At least I walked my butt off today. I walked miles today. I got this scratch in the back of my hand. I kept running into these chigger bushes. They're thorny bushes. And they stick up, they reach out, and they grab you, and they cut your skin open. One of them cut my finger open there. Whatever. Owning land does come with responsibilities, though, too. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.